Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. So today we're diving straight into a really dense, tiny little piece of text called consistency in compassion. You might be thinking, come on, how much can we really unpack from just 2 sentences? But actually, a whole lot. We're going to put these 18 exact words under a microscope. We'll look at the grammar, the hidden contrasts, and the actual commands for our behavior that are hiding right in plain sight. I'm honestly super excited to go through this with you, because it's literally a masterclass in how much you can say with so little.
Just read this text along with me for a second. Do small things with great love. Choose to be consistently good and not occasionally great. Wow. Let's just let that sit there for a minute. The sheer weight of that philosophy, wrapped up in such breathtaking simplicity, it's wild. It's asking an incredible amount of us, using barely any words at all.
All right, the core of compassion. Let's dive right into this. For the next few minutes, we're going to do a really meticulous breakdown of this text. We're going to see how these 18 words aren't just, a nice quote you'd see on a coffee mug. They actually form a complete, highly practical manifesto on how to behave. It's a surprisingly demanding framework that we can actually use every single day. Okay, let's look at the basic building blocks here. There are 3 main structural themes we can pull right from the source text. First off, we've got 2 distinct standalone sentences. Second, it uses imperative action verbs. And third, there's this really vivid contrast between scale and reliability. Notice how it totally avoids passive language? It doesn't just casually say, hey, small things are nice. No, it commands us. It uses that direct structure to just grab us by the collar, framing compassion as an absolute active duty, not just a warm, fuzzy feeling.
So, small things, great love. Zooming in on that first half, what's super interesting here is this total paradox of scale it hits us with right out of the gate. We've got small things paired right up against great love. The author is immediately and very intentionally challenging our basic assumptions about what it actually takes to make a real impact in the world.
Just think about the extreme contrast here. On one side, small things, your everyday actions, the totally mundane stuff you do every day. And on the flip side, great love, this massive, almost immeasurable emotional force. The text deliberately smashes these 2 extremes together, and by doing that, it sends a crystal clear message. The actual physical size of your action has absolutely zero limit on its emotional impact.
So what does great love actually mean in this context? Well, based on our text, we kind of have to completely reframe our definition of greatness. Here, great love is the transformative outcome that you only get by doing small, deliberate actions. Think about what that actually means for a second. It means greatness isn't some huge, rare, earth-shattering event. Actually, scratch that, it's the exact opposite. It's the direct result of how you do the tiniest things. The greatness is in the execution, not the size of the task.
And that brings us to the second sentence, good versus occasionally great. This completely shifts the focus, and it introduces a whole new battleground. It builds on the first part by setting up what's basically a strict reliability test for our behavior. We're totally moving away from the scale of our actions and jumping straight into the frequency and the dependability of those actions. Let's be real about human nature for a second. We've got consistently good right next to occasionally great. We all naturally want to be great, right? We want to be the hero, make that massive splash that goes viral and gets everyone's attention. But this text pushes so hard against that ego. It contrasts our craving for that flashy, sporadic greatness with a really uncompromising demand to just be steadfast, reliable, and good. Okay, let's map this out to really lock it in. If we look at the grammar, we can split the actions from the outcomes. On one side, the actions are those literal commands. Do and choose. On the other side, the outcomes are great love and consistently good. Seeing it mapped out like this, it's like a giant puzzle coming together. The verbs literally dictate the outcome. You do the small things and boom, it yields great love. You choose your behavior and you become consistently good. It's not just poetry, it's a literal action plan. When you boil it all down, the whole shebang hinges on this one word, consistently. The text purposely elevates the quiet and, sometimes totally boring, everyday reliability of being consistent, way above the loud, flashy, unreliable nature of being occasional. It makes this rock-solid argument that your endurance and your dependability matter infinitely more to the world than some unpredictable burst of excellence.
Which leads us perfectly into our final section, the power of choice. This is absolutely crucial. We really need to focus on those action verbs, because these are the words that take this from, just a pretty philosophical quote on a wall and turn it into a direct, demanding call to action for every single one of us.
Look at that word choose. Man, that is a powerful, uncompromising verb. It doesn't say try to be consistently good. It doesn't say I hope you're consistently good if you've had your morning coffee. No, it says choose. Being consistently compassionate is framed as a conscious, deliberate agency. It's a choice you literally have to make every single time you wake up. It is never passive, and it is absolutely never an accident.
So, let's put the pieces back together. When you take all of this analysis, those 18 profound words give us an incredibly clear two-step framework for living. Step 1. Do small things with great love. Get your micro-interactions right. Step 2. Choose to be consistently good. Master your reliability. It really is a complete life-altering behavioral system when you think about it.
Which brings us to the ultimate question today. And I really want you to think about this. How are you going to choose to apply this framework of consistent goodness over occasional greatness in your own life? The text is simple, the logic makes total sense, but actually doing it, well, that's entirely on you. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope this deep dive empowers you to go out and make that deliberate choice today and for sure every day after. Keep learning and keep choosing goodness.